my top five centers of all time. So again, no specific order, but I'm gonna start off with Hakeem Olajuwon. Mostly known for his time playing with the Houston Rockets. Led them to two NBA champions, two-time Finals MVP. Uh, I want to say Hakeem was a, you know, league MVP as well, 12-time All-Star. Um, Probably, in my opinion, had the best footwork. And he was a big man and post game, like his post game, his post moves, and was just even you got players even in the modern day and even in recent years who still pay him to you know on his post work and his post skills. So yeah, you know Hakeem was really one, and then just defensively too. He won a defensive player of the year for us defensively. Um, just an all around great player. Um, you know, one in that '90s era where it was super tough. Jordan was dominating. So uh, even though I do have to acknowledge the time when he did win the chips. I think he won it one year when Jordan was out. The year he was playing baseball, and then another year when the Magic had beat um, the Bulls in the Eastern Conference, and then they beat the Magic. So, but still, tough. A lot of talent and great players. Then next, I gotta go with Shaquille O'Neal, uh, the Diesel. You know, the most dominant player of all time. Um, just was just beating guys with brute force, especially when he got there with the Lakers. Um, just athletic, especially for his size and build. Just dominating. Um, and he was a great passer. He was a really good passer. Knew when to kick it out to guys when the double teams came. Shaq knew, when to kick it out and pass it to the cutters and things of that nature when need be. Um, great defensively. Great rebounder. Um, just like he always says, I don't is it G14 classified, whatever. When it comes to the big man, you know what I'm saying. He knows what it takes to be um, a dominant and a great. So um, gotta put Shaq in there, and you gotta go with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, uh, six-time NBA champion. Um, just the now the second all-time leading scorer. Um, inventor of the sky hook, still to this day the one of the most unguardable, if not the most unguardable shot in the game, and just was he had the moves and the size, and you know he was just a great player. Played along Magic. Obviously helped him. No, they both helped each other. To be honest, they were both complementary to each other. But yeah, Kareem. You know, even when you look statistically, one of the most consistent players. when you look statistically. Very consistent in his stats, um, and just consistently great. And so yeah, gotta put my guy Kareem, uh, originally Lou Alcindor, in there. Then fourth, I gotta go with, and this is a little, the next two guys that I'm gonna list are actually current guys. Um, but again, I do believe that they are very deserving to be in this list because I do believe they, even in this currently, they, like, obviously I have them on the list, but currently their game has spoken enough to me to where I can put them on the list, and then they're still writing this story. So, and I believe they have a lot more to add when it comes to the history books and what they're going to do. But um, Nikola Jokic, um, two-time MVP, NBA champion, Finals MVP, potentially about to win his third MVP this season. Um, just probably the league's first point center, if you will. Um, just I'm a big fan of Nikola Jokic, man. Um, just the way he plays, his ability to affect the game, whether it's through rebounding, assisting, uh, scoring the basketball. Um, and the fact that he does it in such an efficient manner, like he's super efficient in his in his scoring, doesn't force it at all, makes the right plays all the time. Um, not a high maintenance guy who's just gonna be yapping in his mouth all the time like most cats. Um, he just goes out there, plays basketball, and plays it well, plays it the right way, and I really admire that about him. He's a guy who just goes about his business and gets things done. And just me personally, I can relate to him, in that regard. You know, um, I think with today's day and age and the media, it's always looking for, if you're not a loudmouth and you just not yapping off and bringing attention to yourself, it's like you're not a star, you're not a superstar, or you can't be marketed, or people not gonna like you, whatever, media narrative people like to just push out there, just because you're a guy who, handles their business and goes to work and do what they gotta do. Um, like a Nikola Jokic, So I'm, like I said, I'm a big fan of him. I really love his game. Really love the way he plays the game. Um, so yeah, and then lastly, I'm gonna go with Joel Embiid, league MVP last year. Um, Very good chance of winning again this season. Um, just super dominant as a guy, as a player. Um, can do it all, man. He's he's a guy who, man, when you look at his game and look at him in his current state, like, you really can't say there's any weakness to his game. I mean, he can he can take you coast to coast at his size. Um, he can beat you out the dribble. He can, shoot the mid range. He can shoot the three. He can beat you in the post. He can, be dominant and just back you down and dunk on you. He can pass the ball. You know, um, he can pass the ball very well at his size. Um, Great defensive player. Can rebound it. Um, just has that dominant mentality. Um, like I said, this is really right now no flaws you can say when it comes to Joel Embiid and his game in this current day and time. And like I said, I'm just looking forward to see him, you know, keep balling and keep hooping and the accolades, pouring. I believe he's gonna, win some, some more MVPs and likely win a championship, in his career. So, you know, that rounds out my list of top 5 centers of all time. And these guys, especially when you're talking about a Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic, these guys, in my opinion, have really transcended the way that the center is plays the game of basketball and the position itself and the way that they play. Their ability to um, pass the ball, be a playmaker, um, beat you off the dribble, shooting the basketball. These are aspects. These are, in essence, what most would say guard skills that these guys have added to their game, as well as still being great at the center position, like beating you in the post, backing you down. you know the traditional center. What centers do. They're great at that, doing those things too, as well as them being adding on these other aspects to their game, like I said, like the shooting, the passing, and beating you off the dribble and stuff like that. So I take that into consideration as well. So